Creatine builds up to about 20% more muscle. But do you know when to take it for the best results? First, if the goal is to build muscle and strength, you need to be taking at least 5 grams of creatine per day. But if you want the brain benefits, you need to be taking 15. But in saying that, the timing that you take your creatine in the day may help. Taking creatine post-workout may increase uptake as insulin helps shuttle creatine into the muscle. But if you decide to take creatine pre-workout instead of post, just be careful because some studies do show that caffeine may suppress the effects. So depending on your goals, just take 5 to 15 grams of creatine per day, preferably post-workout with some high GI carbs. But most importantly, just remember that taking creatine isn't going to do anything unless you optimize your training and nutrition first.
Bro took every creatine-related myth and shared it as a fact. For starters, creatine won't build 20% more muscle. Creatine is primarily a performance supplement. So by increasing your training performance a bit in return, you might gain a little bit more muscle in the long run, but not 20% more. That's a hell of a bold statement. If you sum up all the studies, and trust me, there are quite a few, it's the most studied supplement in existence, creatine timing. When you ingest creatine doesn't matter. You can take it anytime throughout the day, it won't make any difference as long as you're taking it. Yes, if you're talking strictly in terms of training performance, 3 to 5 grams is more than enough for most people. So just take 5 grams per day, every single day. You don't have the cycle on-off. 365. Also, if you're talking about standard doses, you don't need insulin spike or insulin release to maximize creatine uptake by muscle cells. The studies which found that were done for starters in the 90s, and they were basically using ridiculous amounts, ridiculous doses to find the threshold. Also, what recent studies are showing is that the interaction between caffeine and creatine is insignificant to virtually non-existent, so you can take creatine alongside the caffeine just fine. It won't make any difference. And although I addressed this like 15 times in the last 2-3 months or so, those cognitive benefits of creatine or high dose creatine are mostly observed in individuals who showed poor cognitive performance during the pre-trial. Yes, there is one study showing it in perfectly healthy individuals, but for that exact reason, I ran the experiment myself. I went from 5 to 20 plus grams of creatine per day. I haven't felt or found any difference on anything. Take that as you will. I'm kinda in a good mood, so I'll make creatine consumption stupid simple for you guys. 5 grams per day every single day. You can take it anytime throughout the day. It won't make any difference. You don't need to cycle on off. You don't need the loading phase. Just take it 365 and you can take it with pretty much anything, or you can take it alone. That's it.